Mackey Motors in Lake City is the place to find new and certified used vehicles. With a knowledgeable sales staff and amazing service departments, you'll drive away satisfied. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City, MackeyMotors.com.
The Coon Rapids-Bayard boys, the sprint medley team joining Casey Myers at Carroll Broadcasting Sports Network today down here at Audubon. Ethan Bauer, we're in the first leg of the race, the first 100 part. How do you feel coming out of the blocks? How'd your handoff feel? Kind of walk us through the race.
Coming out of the blocks, felt pretty fast. The wind was in a decent spot for me. We came out in the front lane, so really not a lot of competition behind me. And yeah, felt good giving the handoff.
Anything you think you could have done better in your part of the race?
Definitely could have stayed lower out of my blocks, shot out a little faster, not stood up high, get caught by the wind. But other than that, I thought it was pretty clean. We had a pretty good handoff, me and Mason.
We will hand it over to Mason real quick. And Mason, you're in the second 100 part of the race. Personally for you, how do you feel the handoff went with Ethan?
Me and Ethan's handoff were pretty good. I got in a good spot. When I got out of that handoff stage, I tried to stay as low as I possibly could so I could limit the time I was affected by the wind. But I could have definitely done better was my handoff with Parker over at the 200. I was a little late on it, and that was really about it.
Did the wind affect you at all running that long stretch of the 100?
Not really. I only really felt it about at the 85-meter mark. It didn't really affect me that much.
How have practices been for you guys? You guys haven't got the opportunity to run a lot with a lot of your meets being canceled. How have the four of you kind of just been practicing with the sprint med?
We really just been trying to work on our handoffs and running our respective parts of the races just so we can get better at our certain parts.
Mason, thank you. We'll hand it off to Parker now. And Parker, you got the 200 part of it. How was the handoff with Mason, and kind of how did the 200 go for you?
Yeah, well, the handoff, like you said, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, though. But the race was fine. I got the handoff with a pretty big lead, so it was pretty comfortable. But, I still got to keep pushing myself even when there's not a lot of competition there.
Kind of a windy day out here today. Did you have to battle the wind, any part of that 200?
A little bit, but, it's the way it is. It's how outdoor track meets are, so you just got to push through.
How do you feel that your portion of the 200 went? What did you do really good? Did you get a good start when Mason was coming up with the baton? How do you feel you were strong at the finish? How do you really feel your race went?
Yeah, I feel like I finished pretty strong. It's tough to finish strong, especially in the 200, because you got to sprint the whole way through, and you get tired. But I feel like I did pretty well at that.
What else are you running today?
The 4x1, 4x2, and shuttle hurdle.
All right, Parker, thank you so much.
Thank
we'll
you.
hand it off to Ty. And Ty, you got the tough part of the race, the 400. How do you feel that the handoff went, and kind of where were you at in your strong point of that 400?
Me and Parker's handoff was, I think, good. My strongest part was probably the second 100 part of it, and I kind of just got burnt out right away, and last 150 was pretty tough.
Do you feel like you kind of, you mentioned that right away you came out hard. Do you think kind of adjusting that, maybe not coming out as hard in the 400 as at the rest of the meets?
Yeah. I'm not good with interviews.
No, you're good. What else are you running today?
Open 4.
How do you feel, the sprint med has improved in the couple of times that you've been able to run it so far?
I mean, our sprinters closed the time down. I haven't really done much. I've done the same time.
Yeah. Ty, thank you for joining me. Good luck coming up the rest of the year.